Pokémon franchise is known for two things: imaginative creatures and hiding creepy details in plain sight. If you look through the Pokédex, you are bound to find disturbing entries that paint the otherwise colorful critters in a different light. Beyond the Pokédex, quite a few locations, cutscenes, and even mechanics hide details that add to the franchise's lore and make the game world seem far less kid-friendly than it actually is. Let's uncover some dark Pokémon lore that will change how you look at the games. Mega evolutions are actually very painful. These transformations completely altered the looks and typings of a select few Pokémon, but they were quickly replaced with Z-moves, Dynamaxing, and most recently, Terastallization. Each transformation comes with its own respective Pokédex entry, and describe Mega Evolutions as an artificial process that mucks around with a Pokémon's biology in dangerous ways. More often than not, the Mega Evolution process is described as very painful. The jaw of Mega Glalie is snapped open, and the spines of Mega Aerodactyl erupt painfully from the skin. Those are the lucky ones. Mega Gyarados are effectively lobotomized, and Mega Gengar and Mega Banette go full Pazuzu, trying to curse everything around them. Mega Scizor and Mega Houndoom produce so much energy that they can start melting. Pokeballs brainwash Pokemon. The exact science behind Pokeballs is a little bit iffy, but that's often easy to brush off. In Black and White 2, Hugh's father's Purloin is stolen by Team Plasma. However, when he finally catches up with the individual member who took it, the Purloin, now a Leopard, obeys Team Plasma's commands. The thief claims this is part of the process behind Pokeballs. Whenever you trade Pokemon, the one you receive obeys you without question. But why? It's not like you caught it or trained it. You're a stranger, so why should it obey you? Perhaps Team Plasma was right all along. Maybe Pokeballs actually brainwash anything stored inside, and when you trade, they program the Pokemon to recognize you as its owner. Galarian fossil Pokemon live in agony. To obtain one of Galar's 4 fossil Pokemon, you have to mix and match 2 different fossils and give them to Karalis. The process and results of this unique form of resurrection are a clear reference to the Crystal Palace dinosaurs, a collection of sculptures based on what scientists in the 1850s thought dinosaurs looked like. In the Pokédex, most of these blurbs state that the Pokémon live in constant agony. Arctovish and Dracovish, for instance, apparently can't breathe unless they are underwater, even though they are clearly land-dwelling creatures. Meanwhile, Arctozolt is constantly shivering because its electric-type upper body was stapled to an ice-type lower body. While you might not realize it, Karalis ignored all morals to create animals whose existences cause agony. Some Pokemon are enslaved to other creatures. The most famous example is Parasect, completely overtaken by the mushroom planted on its back as a Paras. The Pokemon is little more than a mobile corpse, not unlike any insect infected with cordyceps. A more recent example of this enslavement is Galarian Slowking. Normally, the Shellder biting down on its head just stimulates Slowking's intelligence, turning it into a genius. But Pokédex entries clearly state the Shellder is the brains of the Galarian Slowking operation. Slowking is clearly zonked out, having trouble controlling its movements, implying that the Shellder is pulling its strings, but isn't used to having limbs. Real ghosts haunt the Pokémon world. Ghost-type Pokémon may appear spooky, but they are alive and not actually paranormal. However, actual ghosts do exist in the Pokémon regions. One example of a real-live, dead ghost uses the Hexmaniac model and only appears in Lumio City, specifically on the 2nd floor of one of its buildings. If you ride the elevator up, she materializes behind you, says, "No, you're not the one," and floats off screen. Not walks, floats. Who is she? What does she want? Who is she looking for? Nobody knows. Sometimes, trainers appear possessed, but some, such as Phoebe, are mediums. Her intro battle cutscene starts off normal enough, but when it cuts to black, you might notice something spawn on her chair in the last frame. Then the scene gets really freaky. The camera moves oddly as if it's from the perspective of someone walking. The most obvious explanation is the game spawned an NPC to act as a shaky, spooky camera. But if that's true, explain the child NPC mostly obscured by the protagonist's giant head in the next scene. Nobody acknowledges it, but it's there. At the top of Mount Pyre, when Team Magma or Team Aqua steal their respective orbs, an elderly couple is up there too. However, if you return later, the woman is missing. Phoebe is nearby, talking to seemingly nothing, but she claims she's conversing with the spirit of her grandmother. Given what Phoebe says, the man on top of the mountain is her grandfather, which would make the woman who was with him Phoebe's grandmother? Have you encountered any dark moments while playing Pokémon? What stood out to you? Read a longer version of this story on denofgeek.com.